We should have like some.
Man, I gotta wake them up, man. They been sleeping off. Get them, Weezy.
Welcome to the Alien Podcast, where we talk about everything aliens. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe. Definitely tap in on the chat. Let us know your thoughts as well. I'm your co-host, Prez. I got my peoples in the building. What's up, Los and BB?
Yo, we were getting hype with the X-Files music in the background, bro. I was loving it, bro. I was loving it, man. I'm so excited about this because these are the things that people look at us like we're fucking crazy. Because they're like, oh, you guys believe in aliens? Or you guys, man, I fucking do. You're damn fucking right I do. Who the hell you think we are, bro?
There's got to be aliens somewhere, bro.
There has to be. Mathematically, it just only makes sense, yo. And BB has been on her research fucking game, bro.
Oh, my God,
like,
for sure.
Going nuts with this shit. I've been dealing with this for a whole month.
Yeah, because I do not want to give anybody the wrong information. It has to be correct. You know, you can actually Google it out there and study it. It's out there, and we're gonna bring it up to you guys.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Yo, so what's been up, man? What's going on, man? Like, has anybody seen any aliens lately?
I wish.
You wish you saw aliens? Yeah. She always does. We got to get her in the outfit, the alien outfit. I'm telling you. Middle of the field.
You remember the Independence Day movie when she's like, please don't go up there. Promise me you won't go up there on the roof. I promise. And she's out there like, take me. Yeah, that's her all day.
Yeah, all day, bro, all day.
Yeah, but I know for sure that we're going to witness some spectacular events more than before in upcoming years to come.
Oh,
for
shit,
sure.
you predicting this live right now? She's predicting this shit? She's predicting it, bro. Like I say, man, I'm excited about all of this stuff, man, because, you know, you always see the TikTok videos. You see so many videos that are out there when people are like, oh, my God, like the fucking aliens, are they real or are they not? But we're here to debate things, to pull facts that we can pull that are public record that anybody else can look up.
For sure.
And might pull up some weird shit and some dumb shit from TikTok.
Bro, and at the end of the day, bro,
let's talk about it.
Don't quote me on shit. Just know that I'm just speaking for the moment.
But we want everyone to just have an open minded to see what's beyond, you know?
That's really what it's about.
And what a great day to do it. Easter Sunday, 420.
420, bro. What's the chances? It's not just Easter Sunday. It's 420 and it's the Alien Podcast Day.
Bro, it doesn't get no better.
And what are we talking about today?
The Vatican. So the Vatican has been very busy getting ready these past few days, these past few weeks, and
that's
one of my
creepy
most in there. The Vatican.
They're gonna talk about the Pope and everything.
You got like
else.
a whole presentation too.
Yeah, and well, I do have a presentation, but I'm gonna pick my presentation so I don't sound too robotic, you know. But it's basically everything that I've researched, and it's like a rabbit hole. It's like once you like go into this, there's so many other things, and it's like, whoa, I want to go here, I want to go there, and I'm like, did you hear? And I just did it.
I was in pregame. I was just telling you a little bit about it, but we ain't got 2 minutes into this shit.
Slapping tables.
I'm slapping tables, but it's so many things that we never knew.
At the end of the day, that just shows how people are so enthusiastic about this, because BB really digs deep into this stuff.
I do.
Like,
I see that.
She digs deep into this shit,
she had a
bro.
whole document. Yeah. She had photos. She was still adding more photos. She was like, still, I got
bro,
these.
You know,
we're going to go through them all.
Could you imagine? I'm married to her. So you imagine my phone, the text messages I get, ding, 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 of all this alien, the Vatican, and everything that's going on.
Listen, ever since we've grown up, since we've been little, everybody, you know, now adults, you've been taught one way. This is the way, you know, and it's like, but you haven't seen it all. You haven't heard it all because they only structure you to hear what they want you to hear, what they want you to learn. But when you start digging in and you start finding out stuff, and you be like, hold on, they've hold so much from us.
But that's one thing, like we've always talked about, the agenda. The same education that's been being taught for years is being taught. They don't want you to go deep into shit. You're not supposed to the lifestyle when the government creates these, they don't want you to ask questions. But damn it, we're gonna ask the fucking questions here.
We're gonna ask questions.
And get ready, because I know that our last podcast that we had, I know that we had a video that we did with the guy that supposedly seen something and floating and things like that. Well, I really dug enough to where like, wow, this guy maybe was on something. Like he was really onto something versus alien versus religion.
Oh,
the two together.
Interesting. Now I'm a skeptic still. I'm still a skeptic, but
Yo,
we're
like
gonna talk about
they
it.
talk about it because like when we were talking about like los demonios, aliens, are they connected?
I don't know, bro.
Because I don't give a damn if you could fucking transform and do shit and get into people's minds and you're a fucking demon too.
No,
But-
again, like Bob Marley says, free yourself. Your mental from slavery. Your mental slavery.
And like, yeah, 100%. You have to open the box. You have to think outside of the box. That's what is the word that the word the woke. The woke.
Oh, I don't
The
like that
people
word.
But you know what though? I
can't
look
say
at it
that
just
word.
yo, open your third eye. Open that third eye, understand things, think outside of the box. Not everything what you think it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just a firm believer in that.
Well, I be getting random clips from y'all, and we're gonna go through some of those too today.
Man,
We're gonna talk about some of those. You want to start off with the Vatican? I know you have like a whole presentation. I really want to get into it. I want to talk about the information that you have. Pick it apart.
Yeah, and then if
Look
you
at
guys
some
want to say some
photos.
comments and, tune in with me, and if you have any questions, that I could probably, pull up on there, because I've done so many research on this. I mean, I've been on it. First, I want to put that clip up on there.
Which one?
On the saying, the white one with the little...
Boom.
That
This
one right there.
Boom.
Angels or aliens? The Vatican holds UFO secrets. Now, let me tell you, there was an interview in the Vatican newspaper by Salvador Romano. They say that the notion doesn't contradict the faith, because aliens would be still God's creature. Ruling out the existence of aliens would be like pulling limits on God. Creativity forms.
It's an interesting point.
Not that they say that they don't deny it. And that's what intrigued me the most. It's like, wow. And this is coming from a higher up in the Vatican.
So is that saying like that? Is that saying that like, yo, by ruling out aliens, you're ruling out God's creations?
No.
Well, that's it. That's that. So pause for 1 second, right? I think his logic is what he's saying is if you rule out aliens, you're limiting what
God's
God
creation.
can create. Like,
Yeah.
who are we to say that God
didn't create them.
aliens, right?
Yes.
So
That's what I got from that. Like, are you really like you said, you're limiting that? That's what you're saying. God couldn't create that?
that's a good question. If you're in the chat or if you watch this later, feel free to comment on the video.
Like
Just
to
let
think,
us know what you
to
think.
think God only created humans and animals.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, that's just one planetary. If there is a God that's huge, almighty, everything, you don't think he would say, okay, let's do this here and let's do this over there?
So yeah. Now here's my question. Now, not saying that they don't exist, is that acknowledging that they exist, or are we like? I feel like we fall short of them actually acknowledging it.
Yeah, they didn't come in close to acknowledging. I think they were playing maze with it. When I've done all this research, I feel like they pull us this way, they pull us that way, but never give us anything. But I've learned a lot more. So I know that in the big Vatican and the necropolis, which is the center where the big mass and everything gets held, that's where they hold the St. Peter's Basilica, basically. And then that has 5 to 12 meters below St. Peter, it has a crypt. But below this crypt holds priests like from thousands of years ago.
So you think they buried the priests under there?
Yes.
And so that's like some
And
mummy.
this is talk
tomb
about,
shit.
if you don't know the meters, this is about 39 to almost 50 feet down underground.
Yeah.
It's just deep. Now, what comes, and I didn't get a capture of it. I know that there was one mention that they hear noises and things like that. Through the archives, there's a different type of archive. So there's a library in the Vatican City, but there is one that is deep below, that they are the ones that hold the keys to all the secrets. Now, if you ever look at the Vatican symbol, it's two keys together like an X. So if you really look at it, they're really holding artifacts that they hold secret that, nobody could get into
So you're saying that the symbolization is there? They're basically
to hold those secrets.
in front, yeah, because they believe in symbols a lot.
Yes.
And protection is one thing. That's what, like, think about when people went to war. They wore shields and stuff to protect things. And if your main symbol is a protection, an X, that's like do not enter.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel like it gives me like the real Masonic vibes too. Like if you know the story of Hiram and the beef. The story of Hiram and the beef is basically Hiram is a widow's son. He's a central character. It's presented in the third degree of Freemasonry. Hiram is presented as the chief architect of King Solomon's temple. He's murdered inside this temple by 3 ruffians after they failed to obtain from him the master mason's secrets. The themes of the allegory are important, of fidelity and the certainty of death. And if I'm not mistaken, what they do is the story basically says that he was buried underneath the cornerstone of the building. And that represented like it was almost like a blessing to the building. It's what made it a sacred site, which is kind of crazy.
Like his spirit and stuff, he's protecting the whole entity itself.
Yeah. So I mean, burying these priests in these crypts
So
and putting in a sacred space.
That would to me goes
fall in
into
place.
like afterlife, like.
There's a
the
lot of
pro-
afterlife shit, right?
Like definitely a lot of afterlife type shit. Shout out to the chat right now. They're saying people fear what they don't understand.
Right.
Aliens have always been made to be something to be feared.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Facts.
Shout out to Cammy in the chat. That's I do kind of agree with that.
Look, listen. Our ancients were so freaking like smart and knowledgeable that it was just insane. But then it's like now today's people can't even be determined and like what they can't even determine what gender is. Like we've been dumbed down basically, on the entire existence of human history at nowadays, like right now. Like there's so much knowledge in history. If you really want to get that knowledge, you could actually get it, but they've actually put a halt in it. Like they don't want you to really look at that knowledge.
So you think
It's an interesting perspective.
I mean, yeah, that is because I do agree with that they do limit our knowledge.
They
to
do.
things, from the schooling to you know what I mean. They could say they don't limit it because if they wanted us to get smarter,
Listen,
they would
I'm
up the
torn.
fucking curriculum.
Putting fake
I'm torn.
news out there and putting fake stuff, it makes us a wave. Like, how can we find this real knowledge by
I think that's
original?
For me, I feel like let's say back in the times that like the Vatican was first coming to power. You would talk about ancient times, and then I feel like the suppression of knowledge was really key, right? But I feel like nowadays they just flood us with everything. Like, you want the truth? Okay, here's the truth. But then here's like 1,000 other articles of everything but the truth. So it
To
drowns.
misguide
you
you.
to-
It's a misguidance.
to weave those out and do your research.
Yeah.
Like anything. That's what I love about free will and the mind of a human, that we are created to explore.
Right.
Like I know they say you shouldn't ask why, but why not ask why?
Why not?
Like that is a big thing, bro. Figure out the truth. Look for your own truth.
All right, so let's go back to the Vatican, right?
Let's go. Let's go back to that.
Let's do the Father Tuso. Pull that one up so everybody
That
could
was
see
the
that.
one that with the article. And
With
he
the
was standing
article,
next to the
yeah.
article?
So this one is pretty awesome because it's literally, to me, saying like, look in the Vatican files. You could actually
right
see
here.
it. So I'm gonna read through and skim it through. So this is Father Tuso, and he is actually in Italy. This is taken back in 2022. This picture that you see, but this is a documentary of him, which he says that there's classified in what it's accessible to the scientific community about the UAP, not UFO, because of course it's flying object. We're talking about like UAP. But then here, there's a thing where it says that the Vatican archives have a high value of paranormal research, he says, especially because since the Renaissance Church has applied more rigor to elect miracles, requiring witnesses to swear oaths that are not lying. So what basically is saying that the paranormal activities, he's saying go in the Vatican files and you could actually find that they're connected.
Now, there's a connection between paranormal activity
And
these
UFO.
and okay.
And UAP, basically. So human beings that are way to contact
And if I'm not
civilizations.
mistaken, in that article, they say they did find something, right?
Yeah, it says somehow we human beings are in some way in contact with other civilization and other conscious beings in the universe. That's what he said.
So look at that. Other conscious beings in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
What? Okay, to the chat. What the fuck does that mean?
By paranormal. Like, okay, so when you hear paranormal, and this is the guy that we see in the last Alien
but
podcast.
is paranormal a conscious being? Paranormal to me is
well, that's the question. I feel like people blur the lines sometimes. Like they'll say something's a ghost or an alien. Like, which one is it? Like, is the ghost something that's actually physical?
I think when you say being, once I think you say being, I think that becomes like a physical thing.
Yeah, like a sentient being, like a physical
being.
thing.
You're a being. You're something.
Something that could get a piece of
So
paper and have
paranormal
it
would be
floating.
Paranormal to me is more.
Like
I wouldn't say
ghosts.
spiritual, more ghosts, more
Angels.
you can't see.
It's there, but
Having a brush fly across the counter and things like that. That's paranormal. Okay, so that's paranormal.
that's to me that is. I don't
So
know if that's the actual
wouldn't
definition.
that be like a portal matrix kind of Sumerian thing where like something opens up to have that power to do such thing?
I don't know.
See, that's
like
what
I'm going back to what they were said there. That they said they have came in contact with conscious beings that are not from this right here, Earth.
Look, it says Catholic miracles are of interest to the UFO researchers because telepathic communication, levitation, and other paranormal events often coincide with close encounters.
So are they saying things like the miracles that have happened around the world, like let's say like in these different countries that people go to all the time? What's the one? I think I've heard this before too. I think there's who was it? Was it Mother Teresa that they said had like a close encounter or something like that?
I think it was one of them. It was either
like all these miracles that happened around these figures, like something happened that was UFO related or alien related that somehow made it happen. I've seen that
like
before.
the statue crying blood and things like that.
Yeah, like
and-
all these things, like things levitating, or like Ezekiel's wheel in the Bible.
But we're
coming
talking about
from
the
sky,
levitation.
like the
Yeah,
explanations.
remember
I've heard of
levitation. We just seen on the last episode with the guy that seen things in the cross or whatever was levitating, or the
levitating,
book
yeah.
or whatever. So him saying that he had an encounter with the alien, something that was in his backyard, and they're
Right.
saying things were floating.
And now the next day things were floating
I'm
in his
just saying.
house. So that's that coincide together. So
Solo said a floating chupacabra.
I just
Maybe.
it could be.
He said she dead. Yeah, she is dead. All those saints and people are dead. But they said they had like some alien encounters that made these things happen or these miracles happen. There's some explanations, and it's not just like in the Bible, but like in a lot of different scriptures. I feel like that almost explain things in a way that almost seems like a UFO
Right.
or something that's flying above in the sky. The descriptions of it are very similar. And like you'll see like an ancient aliens and shit, like they'll show it. They'll be like, here's your Ezekiel's wheel with the lights and description. And
Yeah.
it could be, maybe not. I don't know. Shit's been around billions of years, so we just been
True.
around a few mil. So
I mean, and we once again go to the what was that stat on you had the statistics of where's the most UFO reportings at?
Oh, I do have a stat. I didn't like bring it up physically, but I'm gonna tell you, California is the number one for the most sightings in the USA alone. If you're from USA, I didn't do all around the world, which I should have. But California, and then the next second one is Florida, and the third one is Washington.
So damn it, I'm telling you, I've been Florida, and damn it, I've seen some shit.
okay, well,
So those
That
are
explains it.
those are the top three. Because I'm here, I'm like, oh, let's go. Like, what would be something fun to do other than going hunting for ghosts in the cemetery?
I'm telling you, bro, we gotta.
And like, let's go hunt for UFOs. I'm like, okay, so I'm like looking it up.
the Vatican said that they're real without saying they're real, apparently. So,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
They're not denying it,
We'll see that later.
which is a big thing.
What else they talking about in there?
But I do have Carolyn Evan Wrinkle. She did say that she studied with an ex-priest who worked at the Vatican Library. And she was told that there are some rare books in the Vatican Library that cannot be touched with your bare hands. You have to have gloves because they're cursed.
Whoa.
It's not because of chemicals like messing up or anything like that.
No.
And they got like anthrax or
'Cause
nothing.
I've heard that before. Like they got to touch
No.
things with certain gloves.
No, but
because
listen
of
to
the
this.
Oils.
Some of these come from the Library of Egypt.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then these,
y'all watched the movie The Mummy, right?
yeah, you know how they say
They
the
curse
the
them
book,
shits.
the Book of Dad and the Book of Light. You know, it's like all that stuff like that. The Vaticans do hold those books.
Which books are those? Are those like? Did you put a picture of those in here?
No, I did not. I did have. Okay, so actually, you know what? Yeah, the Codex Vatican B. This book was actually 4000 BC. This holds a lot of knowledge. This is before Christ, and then it has a lot on Egypt and Rome. So this is a really cool Codex book. Also, to the library itself. Show the library real quick.
Which one was that one?
Where the fuck
With a
would
bunch of
you? Where would
books?
you get a copy of that book? Or you can't get a copy of that
No,
book?
you cannot
You're talking
get.
about that one?
Yeah, that one right there. So you see those? Those
You
are.
gotta go in underground, bro. You gotta.
No, there's
you
only.
gotta dive, bro.
You know what? Only. I mean, not everybody can touch these. No, you can't. You just
be like-
can't.
you gotta be like one of the high
You see,
priests.
that
or
Not
something.
to me,
even.
that to me is what the
They don't.
fucking
They
skeptic.
don't let you touch it.
But to
They
me,
don't
that's
let you
the
touch
crazy part about this. It's like when people want to say they know the truth, they know this. We can't even fucking touch those
it.
books.
No, you can't.
Bro, could you imagine what is written in these books that would maybe change the cycle of way people think of life?
Or at least have a special person that could touch them to upload that knowledge up in our server. That would be nice.
now
But they don't
imagine,
want to
though,
do that.
The knowledge that's in that book would change, if
Everything,
possible,
yes.
the way humans live.
What if it's just a book of some dude sitting on the side of a mountain smoking a blunt?
What if it is a fucking? Gee. What if it is the? What if it is a book, a Dr.
What if
Seuss
it
book?
is?
What if it's just a
Shrooms.
Dr. Seuss book? 1 alien, 2 aliens, 3 alien, 4 aliens. How many aliens on the bed?
I always have that question about ancient writings, though. What if it's just a dude on shrooms writing some crazy
Didn't
shit?
we have that conversation one time?
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah.
what happens if it's not real? What happens if you're just telling stories? So I'm like, why would
This
you
motherfucker's
say?
But it
fucked
could
up
be.
on shrooms.
It could fucking be.
He was like, yo, I seen an alien. Like, if I came up to you and said, bro, I was standing outside and an alien showed up and it was like, yo, did you know that you're not really human? You came from somewhere else. And I was like, whoa, holy shit. My brain was blown. Then it just like disappeared. And then I was talking to like another version in the future of myself.
And you wrote all this
You'd be
down.
like, bro, you took drugs.
Anyhow.
And I'm talking about just because you wrote
took
it so
drugs.
long ago.
So if anybody's curious on these books, I actually did extensive search on these books alone, and not that I wish. I did have a visual of how they look inside. The dialect is, I mean, you'll have to study the whole alphabet on the dialect to even read the books. You don't understand things that are in it. But it was actually the parchment paper was vella. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so.
Bobo said Solo said the Ping Ping Chronicles.
Oh my gosh.
They got Diddy juice on it.
They got.
Somebody else said, what if the books came in contact with radon and then became untouchable that way? Yeah.
Or just like when they open up the mummy, the sarcophagus
Shout out
of the
Sandra in the
mummy.
chat.
If you open one of, you know how they're cursed, and if you open it, certain happen things to you, or you die, or the plague opens. Have you ever heard of those?
Yeah. You ever seen the movie Thinner?
No.
I think I remember that movie.
Yeah,
I've seen
it's
it, but
cursed.
but
It's
like,
cursed. It's like, yo, if you were to touch something or receive something that was cursed, the curse goes to you. And if they put death on whoever opened this book, you might, if you open it after somebody, maybe not get you, but the first person might die of some random shit after opening that shit.
Then they try to hand it off to you so the curse passes to you and they stop. Yeah. I think I remember that shit.
That shit's wild, man.
So I came as closest to getting to the Vatican to the real stuff about like aliens and if scripture aliens. Actually, the Sumerian tablets are the ones that hold that knowledge.
Now, yeah, the Sumerian tablets. There's a lot of discussion around those. So let's go into those. I think you got some.
I think it's just wild tablets back then, God damn it.
Yeah, they were actually like pica piedra.
Well, yeah.
The pica piedra.
Pica piedra.
So this is like ancient origins. I'm talking about like back
Hold on, let me click through some of
1,000.
these. This was
Right there. See that right there?
that's cuneiform. That's what they call that.
Right.
So this is like predates hieroglyphics. These are some of the first known writings that humans are known to have left behind. So
And
some of our earliest stories.
and to say who translated these things.
Right. Who?
I think there's probably very few people who can read this right now these days. Very few people. They got like experts on it, but there's very few people in the world. But yeah, these are some of the first like ancient writings.
That raises so many questions. Like,
Now,
how the fuck do you know what those fucking things mean?
Well, they made it up.
have you guys watched
Well, they were giving
Stargate?
it. That's what they say, that the aliens gave it to them. It was their language.
Right.
Yeah, Stargate was a dope show. I used to like that.
I used to love that show.
I used to want to Stargate like in my room and shit, so I could just like portal to another world, be like, "What up, bitch?"
What up,
and then
bitch?
slide back. You know what I'm
We
saying?
were talking about the portal machine. Remember we were talking about the portal machine?
Right.
About if there was one, like,
Yeah.
could we, like, yo, you buy one and be like, yo, can I transport me and 5 people?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the bigger the better. But then you brought that point up. Like, what happens if we transport it through there and you got different limbs of other people and
Yeah, nobody jumping in the portal with me, bro.
nah, we need the solo one.
Yeah.
I need the
solo.
Dolo transport. I'll
Not
see you when
solo,
I get
solo,
there.
but the solo one.
Yeah,
The solo.
Shout out Solo in the chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is earliest writings, and a lot of people do believe that these are like ancient writings from aliens, or it was like the technology for these things were handed down by aliens. Sumerians and aliens have always had like this intertwined kind of history in that community. You know what I mean?
Also, talking about portals, the Vatican has a lot to do. Did you know that the Vatican's open up 5 doors? It's like a portal that they do, and you can look it up. I'm not kidding. I was super taken aback when I heard about this because they're Catholics.
Is this what this is right here?
Yep,
to
that's
open up the
that's one of the doors
Yo,
that they
that's
open.
nuts, though.
Then I have another one. Can you put the other one? This is one door. This is
Hold on, no, go the other way. This is
that's the underground of the Vatican.
there.
That's the other door.
It's a cool door though. I'm not gonna lie.
It is.
I'm
It's-
not gonna lie, though.
expensive.
If I open a door like that, I expect some wild shit to happen.
Yeah. Like the end of the world is coming right after I open
Yo,
this shit.
bro,
Cool
what the
as fuck.
fuck? Yo, you
cool,
walk
bro.
into my bathroom and I got a door like that.
No, there's the other one. Where's the other picture of the
You're
other
gonna
one?
have an incredible shit.
My favorite door would be the other one.
The one that I show first?
No, the one with the circle in the middle. It's like really bright. Oh, you didn't get that one?
I don't get that one.
No. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Ah.
Let's see.
But-
But yo, that's crazy. Yo, doors like that. Look at that. That looks like a very expensive door.
It is.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a person that understands symbols and I get it because I'm a firm believer in why put all this stuff on a door if it's just a regular door. Why waste the time to do that? And with those symbols, we can't see them close, but I'm pretty sure each one of those squares have something that's meaningful in there.
Yeah.
And when it's opened, it's a reminiscence or a dedication or something to opening that door.
Well, I feel like a lot of the stuff from back then, like if you're talking about like that time period, and I could be wrong, I'm not an expert in this, but for what I noticed in my studies is that they wrote like the symbols and the images meant more because we wrote less words, so the pictures told the story. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
As opposed to them writing it out, they didn't write as much as we do now. Now everything's a book. You know what I'm saying? You can make ebooks for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can have it translated to books. But back then it was like stories were the book, or the pictures were the book.
Narnia. Yeah, shout out to Sandra. She goes Narnia.
Yeah,
You
Narnia.
open
Oh
the
yeah,
door.
hell yeah, Narnia.
All day you open the door. That's exactly what
That
Narnia
look
is.
just like Narnia right there.
You open it up and it goes to a whole nother world. But I really believe it. Yo, it was funny because, damn, I wish I would have sent that video. You talking about portals. Somebody just talking about time travel and shit. And
We
they went
believe in
back
these
to
portals?
Sears. They went back to Sears. And he's recording his feet like, what the fuck you talking about? This Sears, like, yo, and he's showing all these old clothes and all this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Do we believe in these portals? There was one. You gave me a clip. I'm not a very big fan of Billy, but we'll play the clip today.
Oh, you have to play it. Like I said, you don't have to be a fan of it. It's just the message that's been translated. You got to hear what he's saying.
Disclaimer: I don't like this guy, But,
It is what it is.
But he's got some information, so we'll play it.
The Anunnaki, they are these beings that came from off-world.
So these are aliens.
These are aliens. Now, what's interesting about these aliens is that they're not little green men with antenna. They're actually hominids, bilateral bipedal hominids. They look just like us. Now, what's interesting is these beings were a spacefaring race that broke away from the Pleiadian star system. The Pleiadian star system is a group of stars called the Seven Sisters in the night sky. You can see 6 stars with the naked eye. Now, these stars in ancient times, according to ancient texts and tablets, there was an ancient galactic war there.
Okay.
Most of the information from Star Wars comes from this text. And this war, they had these destroyers like Death Stars. They don't call them that, but they call them the Brahma Astra and Brahma Astra Honda weapons that actually can release a weapon that can destroy planets.
Okay.
Imagine if you're in a star system and a planet is being blown up and you're in a nearby planet. You
Get
gotta
the fuck out of it.
off of your planet.
Yeah.
This created something called space refugees. Nobody's talking about this. I'm the first one.
Where are you getting this information again? Where is
The
this?
Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, the Indian Vedas.
So these are ancient Indian texts.
That's right.
5,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Enuma Elish,
I just
which
wanna
is
let you know.
Sumerian. The Anunnaki.
The Sumerian
All right.
tablets.
So we're gonna talk about these clips.
Let
We're
me
gonna
get the
play
light
some
real-
clips.
Let me get the light real quick.
Hold on, let me light.
Yeah.
I need to smoke.
We gotta
for
talk
this.
about this.
I need to smoke for this.
Anunnaki somewhere else, automatic.
So this Anunnaki, you want to explain who the Anunnaki is?
Yeah, and
what you
Anunnaki is
understand.
as a god, alien supposedly, no?
Yeah, so the Sumerians believed in these Anunnaki that basically created the race.
The race.
And basically subjugated the people, the humans, and it was like a whole story. It was a narrative, of what they believed. So that's what he's talking about. He's saying that the Anunnaki were aliens, and that we're an alien race that basically created us, and then we became kind of slaves because they were mining gold for a while.
But there were refugees from another planet that
But
was,
there were
you know what I'm
refugees from
saying?
another
From another
planet.
planet that came, yeah. And then that's where the tablets of the Sumerian tablets came along, because they're the ones who created, supposedly. And in the Sumerian tablets, you could actually read about the Anunnakis are in the tablets.
Yeah.
Which I actually put on there the scriptures of well, you know how you have to study that stuff. I mean, like the lettering and what it means, each lettering. But just imagine, it's going to be hard to learn all that stuff, to read those tablets.
That shit would be very hard to learn that shit.
Because I try to look at it and I'm like, I'm just...
Dots and triangles and lines.
But I mean, listen, back then, you're talking about that time in humanity that these tablets were done in cuneiform, right? What else were they doing?
True.
You feel what I'm saying? Especially if you have now a civilization and you're not all having to go out and hunt. You're not all going to have to go out and do everybody's now got these specialized tasks within a community, and that's all you do all day. You got a lot of time. You can figure some shit out. I feel like humanity is sometimes that. Could it be aliens? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know about Billy Carson's breakdown on it, but I know, I've heard this story before with the Sumerian. It's very much connected to that,
How about the Anunnaki literally are outside of our area where we're not supposed to go out and explore, and they're...
Yeah, you had a clip like that, right?
Yeah, didn't I shared it?
Yeah, you did. There was one that had, oh yeah, this is for you flat earthers.
Anunnaki was to believe that they were fallen angels. That's what Kami put in the chats.
Yeah. There's a theory that says the Anunnaki were so later on, that is what a lot of people attributed these beings to. They were the original fallen angels, and they came and they bred with women, and they created the
hybrid.
giants.
That's the hybrid, and that's where I had that
And then
tablet for
Noah's
that
flood, and so there's a whole storyline to that,
Nigga, so you can get Anunnaki for child support. Nigga, ain't we all native, nigga? Fuck that. I need a check.
Yeah.
I need some of that gold, some of that wisdom, nigga.
Yeah, see, so you sent me this one. I'm not a fan of flat Earth, so I'm gonna watch this begrudgingly. Let's do it.
So they are not aliens? No. What we call aliens are simply the civilizations living beyond the ice wall of Antarctica. It's not some distant galaxy or a sci-fi fantasy. It's Earth, right here, hidden in plain sight, but beyond what we're allowed to see. These advanced civilizations have technology so beyond our understanding that when their ships soar through the skies, we mistake them for extraterrestrial crafts. But they're not from space. They're from regions on this planet we've been kept from exploring.
Right.
Why the lie? The oligarchs, the ones pulling the strings, want to keep us in fear of the unknown. Aliens, outer space, it's all a smokescreen. They don't want us asking questions about what's really out there. These civilizations are light years ahead of us in tech and knowledge. That's why the narrative is controlled. They don't want you to even imagine the idea that there's more to Earth than you've been told. But trust me, it's not aliens coming for us. It's advanced beings from right here, beyond the icy borders we're forbidden to cross.
So they are.
All right.
So that sums that up.
Is this some TikTok shit?
Yo, shut up. Nigga, y'all
Tell me
opinions
the
don't
truth.
mean
So
shit.
that
This is
sums it
some
up.
TikTok shit.
Yo, but I love just the fact, the excitement of knowing that, like, all these people these countries came together, they signed a treaty that you can't go over this wall. So to me, with that being said,
Did they though?
But did they?
did they or did they
But
not?
did they though?
They say you got to be a certain scientist and get the certain things, right? Right? Okay, right? Let's break that down, right? So what the fuck do we got to do to get that license and go over there?
Yeah, but who says there's an ice wall that we got it? That every human on the planet can't go past unless you're like.
No, I see videos of people like going through that wall and then being stopped by armies.
you don't believe there's
ship
ice wall?
armies.
I don't believe that's a flat Earth theory. So the flat Earth theory is that the Earth is flat and there's an ice wall that we're all trapped in.
Yeah.
Basically, and we can't get out. We can't get past the wall. Nobody's ever been past the wall. They haven't been past the firmament.
Well, have you looked at the flight plans? We're not going to go into that. It's not
Are we
about that
Jamaring
today.
today?
We're not about that
Are we
today. We're
Jamaring
not
today?
just getting that today. But what we're talking about is what they're saying right there in that video. Is that and think about it. If all these aliens and these UFOs are coming by, do you really think they're coming from out of the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Or are they already here?
If
They're already here.
Listen, I believe that space exists, the moon exists, the planets exist, that the Earth is round, that the sun exists, the solar system exists.
So you believe those videos that we went to the moon?
I do. I believe
You
we went to the
fucking
moon.
really do.
I do.
With all the bullshit they've already put it out, bro. It's been like that's some shit that in third grade could figure it out.
That has not been debunked.
What the fuck? Yo, they walked up on the nigga Neil Armstrong and said, "Put your hand on the Bible that you walked on the moon." My man said, "Get out of here." Yo, how hard was it to be like, "Yeah, I went to the moon"? How hard was it to
maybe
do
he's
that?
tired of that question.
Get the fuck out of here.
The
He
fuck
wasn't
I went
tired of
all
that
the way to the
question.
moon and I gotta answer to
Or
you
maybe
after I've
he's
been
not
to the
religious.
fucking
Why?
moon.
Why did you look? Have you ever looked at the spacesuit, the fucking imprint of the bottom of the spacesuit that they say, and then look at the print that they took a picture of and said was the fucking print? That's like wearing a pair of Chuck Taylors, putting a footprint and saying it was a pair of Air Forces. It's completely fucking different. They have exposed this. Them fuckers did not go when
I've been
they
watching
said
a
they
lot
did.
of TikTok, bro.
What the fuck? It's just the truth. Yo, they're talking about the first person on the planet who took the fucking picture
I do believe that we went to the moon.
in that
I
little
do
rinky
believe-
dinky ass fucking ship,
I
right?
do believe that we did.
In
Yeah.
that little rinky ass
Yeah.
ship, we went there and brought a fucking craft that could fucking ride around on the moon, and then we somehow landed that bitch back on Earth.
Yeah.
You got me fucked up.
We're explorative people, bro.
What
Humans
the
are that.
What the fuck?
Humans have completed some incredible feats.
But then again,
As rich as niggas are now, you don't think nobody would be like, "Yo, let's go do a music video on the moon."
But it's not that simple. Think about
Well,
what it
Katy
took them
Perry
to just
did.
do
In
that.
Just recently, didn't
in
she?
1960, whatever it was fucking that simple.
No, maybe there was just a huge risk that went
So
right.
you mean to tell me in the 50, 70 years from then, we haven't got better technology, better shit to do that?
I'm sure we do, but we still have space.
The fuck, space got wickeder?
Space is just wicked, bro. Nature is wicked. Think about this. Just a hurricane could wipe us out. And that's just a little piece of
listen,
wind
I don't believe
that
them
moves
fuckers
on
win.
one
I
planet.
don't believe them fuckers win, dog. I really don't believe them fuckers win. I think that's the biggest bullshit, the scam in the world.
But then how do aliens exist? So aliens are not really aliens? They're
They are, but
Earthlings?
we didn't go there.
I love you, Los.
Ain't no way in fuck, bro. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way, bro. We might have went and not told nobody, but the footage that they said, this is the footage of us getting there? Hell no. Hell no.
Let me see it. Let me see it.
Huh?
What happened? What happened? I seen it. I just seen it.
Nah, they was
What?
talking showing the moon. Because ain't nobody been there. That's the closest we been to seeing the
moon?
picture.
Oh yeah, they said they had one. I think one of y'all sent me this. You might have sent me this, Los.
Let me see. Is
Miss,
it?
I don't believe in the moon. Some pictures they found on the moon or something like that
Yeah.
of like alien structures.
That could be fake.
I think that might be AI, bro. You
All day.
No way.
don't
Well,
think so?
Because if that was real, you wouldn't go back. Since we've been there in the 60s.
maybe something happened when they did go and they respect whatever it is. They don't go back. That's what I heard.
They said, get the fuck out of there. You ain't really from here. Get the fuck up out of there. You not from my planet. You ain't never been to the moon. You talking that shit. I might see you soon. Never coming
Sound
back.
like a Disney, like
Never going back.
musical.
Never going back.
Okay, with you.
We ain't never going back. Bro, let's just go back one time. One more time. Let's do an anniversary. Yo, we got to supposedly we put a flag there. Let's go put a new one. Let's go put a new one, up to date one. Let's go put an up to date flag. Times have changed. Let's go put a fucking. I was about to say some wild shit. I ain't gonna say it, but let's go put a flag up there. Let's go put a new one. Why not? Everything else we got anniversaries for.
It says we've been there. Doing this quickly on a search says we've been there 11 or 12 times. Hold on.
But we documented the one time that looks fake as fuck.
Humans have landed on the moon a total of 6 times during the Apollo program between 1969 and 1972. Apollo lunar landings were Apollo 11, 12, 14, 15, 16,
But I
and
haven't
17.
gone back since
But I haven't gone back
because
to what? Why?
why haven't we
Note
gone
that
back?
there were other Apollo missions that went to the moon, but they didn't land on the surface.
That sounds so stupid.
This sounds like again they only give you information that
sounds
you
so
need to know
That sounds
basis.
so stupid.
They're holding things from us. They don't want to let us know.
Why would they? Why do you think they'd want to lie?
Why?
No, it's not they want to lie. It's they want to keep secrets.
So Apollo 11, July 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were the first to land on the moon. November 1969, Charles Pete Conrad and Alan Bean landed. Apollo 14, February 1971, Alan Shepard and Edgar Mitchell landed. July 1971, David Scott and James Irwin landed. April 1972, John Young and Charles Duke landed.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Bless you. Yeah, why don't you look up the video with
Apollo
this nigga
17.
talking about hey, put your hand on the Bible and swear that you went to the moon. And he's like, he don't fucking do it. He's like, all you gotta do is just swear on the Bible that you went to the damn moon.
Maybe he don't believe in the Bible.
But obviously,
That's why he went to the moon.
But here's the crazy part: is that these religions believe that they were from out of the world. If aliens can do it, why can't we do it?
Do you believe that NASA could be a scam?
I don't believe that it is, but I believe that there's things about the data that comes out that could be scams.
Okay.
From NASA?
I don't think NASA's a scam, but I think that there's information that we're fed sometimes and
Do
information
you think
that we're
Katy
not
Perry,
fed.
these motherfuckers just went out out of the orbit, or they stayed in orbit? You think they really went up there?
I believe people go to orbit all the time, bro. I believe that they've even got TikTok accounts and they be spinning around. I think it would take the whole world deciding that we want everybody to never know that there's a planet outside, or to always believe that there's this big globe and this big planet, and there's all these things you've got to keep in motion in order to make that lie stay alive. And some of these things to keep in motion are things like the movement of the sun. You know what I'm saying? You have to have the technology to change that back a long time ago, which we didn't. I just don't see that lie staying alive like that.
You don't think that random people, right? Like us random people, we don't have the finances or the resources to do anything, to even explore the things that we question. You understand me? Like, we don't have the finances to whether it's flat Earth, whether it is aliens.
No,
whether
you've just been limited.
We don't. Well, why? We're always gonna be limited.
Always.
That's what it is.
We are.
And that's why they have all these licenses and all this other shit. Motherfucker, once you start looking too deep, they're gonna shut you down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like right now, me and you would get enough money and say, yo, guess what? I want to go to the moon. Who's gonna stop us? And that's a trip that we can take. If we could build a spaceship big enough in a yard, we build a field and we're gonna take off ourselves to the moon.
Isn't that what Elon Musk is
If
doing?
they find out that we're going, guess what they're gonna do? Stop us. Now, why would you stop me from doing something from my yard that I'm gonna go somewhere? Why can't I go? You have no laws, no restrictions in space. I want to go.
There is Space Force. Yes, there is a
people
force.
People go.
Who go?
They got private companies that be doing that shit.
Talk to me. Where they at?
Elon
Let's
Musk
book
is a
one.
whole
Yes.
company built on that. He's got more satellites, I think, than the U.S. has. up there.
Satellites. Nigga, let's go. Fuck you talking
He
about
said they don't
satellites.
exist.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my God, let's go.
Let's go, bro. Like, let's go.
down.
That's ain't no event. Like, that to me is the
But
fuck
when we had the money, let's go.
Because,
And now let's revisit this conversation.
yeah, I want to record shit. I want to see the aliens myself, the UFOs.
And then-
Well, I
Those
mean,
going
that's
by.
how you're
And then
gonna
they're
see
gonna say he
aliens.
lied. He got bought by the Illuminati.
And they're gonna say that, but I'll come down here, and if somebody walks up on me and say, "Yo, put your hand on this Bible and tell me you went to outer space,"
And then
I went to outer space, cuz.
and they're gonna say he just said that just to shut you up.
Well, I did it though. I shut everybody up. You want to see the cell phone footage from my phone? Look where I was at, nigga. We
They
out
said
of
they-
orbit.
They made that with AI.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. It don't matter what we do as humans. Other humans won't believe it. We do extraordinary things.
True.
We be sleeping on ourselves. That's how I see it. Now, could aliens exist? Hell yeah. There's too much instances of it. If we look at religion being one of the, religion is one of those things that's connected to humans all over, right? And if we look at all the religions, just kind of like what your boy was saying, Billy was saying. I'm not a fan of him, but one of the things that he does bring up is that in Buddhist writings, in all religious writings, really, there's some kind of reference to something otherworldly that's more powerful, that's more intelligent. Now, whether people connect that to their faith or whether they connect it to aliens, that's why humans are humans, right? We kind of come up with our own ideas of what that is. We even create our own religions, like Scientology,
Yeah, well,
based on aliens.
No, Scientologist is more than just based on aliens. It's based on micronism, about frequency, a lot of other stuff too, other
Yeah.
than aliens.
Aren't you becoming more of your inner alien?
I love it.
Oh,
I love you. See me right here. I was just tuning into my alien. Like, yeah.
wait, where was
I'm a
that?
phoebe or something like that.
Fuck yeah.
They said that there was some sort of mushroom that somebody said that they couldn't say because they were in danger of their life, and I thought that was crazy. That you could take that could open up that.
I took those before.
I've taken them. Yeah.
What was it called again?
I don't know if it was that strand, but I've taken them.
Portobello mushroom.
Portobello.
I think that's what it was.
Portobello, isn't that just regular mushrooms?
No, wait.
But them shit, yo.
I'm gonna sprinkle some crack on
I had
it.
that on some pizza.
Give me
That's
some
fucking
portobello
crazy.
mushrooms. So, Confessions of a Time Traveler on Tubi. Yeah. It's on Tubi, Confessions of a Time Traveler.
What's up with all these time travel? Now let's go back to like TikTok and shit. I am a time traveler from telling you that this is gonna happen in 2025, and there's gonna be a category 6 of 300 miles an hour winds and.
But you know what's crazy? Could you imagine? Do you think aliens could time travel?
But aliens supposedly were us, and I think coming back because we made
I
so
mean,
many
how can they?
mistakes.
That's a long distance ago. Sandra said we need to leave the moon alone. Anything humans touch, we destroy. Maybe that's why the aliens don't want to stay and just come and visit. They're like, that's just the hood. Fuck that shit. Y'all live in the projects over there on Earth?
Yeah,
What?
nigga, fuck this shit. Stay over here on Mars, nigga. Near my sandy beaches, nigga. Fuck out of here. That's funny as hell.
Real Sandy and Mars.
But look, they've shown pictures that they said are pictures on Mars. and then they found the picture like the same exact format in like a desert somewhere in Arizona or some shit in the desert with the same mountain. It's like, bro, how can you believe this shit?
So you think the Vatican's holding all the secrets, huh?
They are.
Yeah.
There's 52 miles worth of archive books under the freaking.
I don't know if anybody ever drove 52 miles. Now
Man,
imagine going underground.
I know it's, and this is, don't quote me on it because I don't know if it's real, and I haven't had anything that's real close to it, but somebody dug through in the Vatican and seen a cage, like a huge cage with a demon inside of it that they were holding in. Vaticans are really good for demonic things like holding like possession and stuff like that. Who's to say that they don't have that down there and that's what the worker heard?
Well, yeah, who wasn't to say that the priest wasn't down there just molesting somebody?
Oh.
Wow. That was dark.
That was dark. That was a
very
little
dark.
dark. Sorry, guys.
Super dark, bro.
Well, do you want to play that thing with Joe Reagan? I you know what I'm saying? There's certain things that he's like, then remember when he said about the Vatican, when he went over there to the Vatican City? Because he went over there.
Yeah, he was talking to this dude here. I got it.
Oh, shit.
Boom.
That was dark.
That was very dark. Yeah, smoke some more weed, bro.
Have you been to the Vatican?
No.
It's wild.
Here.
Yeah?
Vatican's confusing. Yeah, because there's so much shit there. I knew that there was an immense amount of artwork there, but when you actually go there and you see the billions and billions of dollars worth of art that was accumulated over who knows how many hundreds, if not thousands of years, it's pretty shocking.
Yeah.
It's like a raiders hoard. I mean, that's really what it is.
Well, yeah.
They clearly stole all this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have it all in one spot. And that one spot is also its own country, which is weird. It's its own country inside Italy, so it has its own extradition laws, which is great because it happens to be overrun with pedophiles.
Yes, this is true.
What was I
fucked.
just talking about? What was
Have you
I
been to
just
the
talking
Vatican?
about?
No.
Well then.
Yo, what did I just say?
Again.
What you talking about hearing shit?
Well, then.
What do you think was fucking going on down there? Bro, I called it, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro.
But 50-something miles worth of books and
Yes.
artifacts is pretty crazy. I mean, 50 miles is
Most
like
of them
from
are
here to
not.
what?
And
To like Orlando?
And most of them are from Egypt. Most of them are from Egypt and other side of the countries. India, Egypt. The Vatican's whole books of knowledge
I
from
feel like
all
when I
over
hear
the
the
world.
Vatican, you know, like when you watch a superhero movie, there's a villain that's capturing all these artifacts from all this old shit, and they want all these prized possessions. I feel like that's what the Vatican is. They hold all these prized possessions because they know it's like, yo, there's the power behind it. You know what I mean? If I own this, we run this shit. I got the spirits of the Egyptians. I got the spirits of this. I have it all. That's what I think a lot of it is. Fucking crazy.
That is crazy. I'm trying to figure out what 50 miles are.
Nigga, that far as fuck.
That is far.
I don't even think we went 50 miles under the ocean.
I think I have. Hold on.
50 miles?
50 miles.
That's a lot. They do got like their own country over there. Like, they
That's
got their
even,
own
listen when he
laws,
said
their
that, like,
own
yo, they have
military-
their own,
yeah.
it makes
They
sense
have
for them
military too.
They protected everything.
Yeah. I mean, people say that there's a lot of shit under there. I mean, I don't doubt it. You know,
Why would it? Like, with all that protection and everything?
There's a few other spots in the world like that, like the Dome of the Rock over there by the Temple Mound. Is also a big one. They actually say that there's a lot of alien encounters with that building too. There's a few basilicas and different spots around the world that are kind of crazy that they think that like different things have happened like in history that are connected to aliens.
Oh, they, like, just...
What else you got over there, baby?
I have here, there's claim of fascist dictator Benito Mussolini in the Italian over there, of course, because, you know, Italy, most of the Vatican owns Italy. But they had recovered a UFO and was moved to a secure Air Force base. Now, when I'm talking about UFO, it's an aircraft, basically, of some unknown source. And this was back in 1933. There was a whistleblower that actually, I guess, felt disturbed and needed to, like, basically let everybody know. And he went crazy trying to tell everybody, where they marked him as crazy. Like, oh, he's just crazy. but he was just trying to let everybody know what they were doing. They was in the Vatican's hand, and from the Vatican's, it went to the U.S. Why would the Vatican release something like that to the U.S. in 1933? The whistleblower was Grush. Now, the Vaticans do not say that he is lying, but do not confirm what he's saying. Again, like they did earlier in the other thing, the Vaticans are known to do that a lot. Yeah, basically, they play the fifth on what he's saying because they're not going to say that he's a liar.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Oh, look. Okay, look. Culture says someone had been granted access to the Vatican archives, which said is run excessively underground within 53 miles of shelving. See, boom. I knew I'd seen it somewhere. See, I do my research, guys, okay? And then that was from the whistleblower, too, which he has said in Encounter, so.
So, 1933, the Great Depression happened. In the United States, the FM radio was created. The rise of Hitler and Nazi Germany happened in 1933. There's a lot of things that happened in 1933.
There's a lot of movement in 1933.
Yeah. They were moving around UFOs.
And they were,
why not if everything else was going?
Yeah.
Why not empower? Why people were trying to take over the world at that time?
So there was an obligation to protect sensitive information, source, and methods. Oye, eso.
Wow.
Yeah.
While the staff of the Vatican archive acknowledged that the vast shelf contains accounts of miracles, they deny that any of them that are holding or pertain to any aliens at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just think of that. At that time with Hitler and everything, people trying to take over the world.
Well, he was trying to take over the world, and if you know the story of like Hitler and all his people in the background, like they were very connected to the Theosophical Society that I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And Blavatsky's teachings, and I know they had like groups of people that were like special agents that were going around the world trying to find these artifacts.
Men in Black.
No, they were different. They were trying to find artifacts that would help them like
determine whatever
take over the world or give them superpowers and shit like that.
You, bro.
Like,
and
Hitler was on a mission.
The humanoid, that is basically the blood that they were collecting to try to make, and again, that's where the scientific
human.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Hitler was trying to. Yeah. There were some weird.
And that's weird. That just 1933.
Okay.
A lot was going on.
A lot was going on during that time, so that makes sense. I guess.
So, do you guys see have you guys watched the Avengers?
The movie. Yeah.
The movie, right?
Yeah.
Captain America. Let's go back to Captain America back in the day. Now Hitler. You know that bad guy who collected the stuff to make him stronger, but they did it to Captain America.
That's what that was based on.
Right. Exactly. My point. I mean, I'm a fan of comics, but there's a lot on there that twines everything together.
We just tapped into something, bro.
Yeah. They tie a lot of that story in, like.
Bro, we just tapped into something, bro.
Yeah, a lot.
He's excited.
Yeah.
That just fucked me up, bro. Bro, like 1933 was
exactly what happened.
Yeah, some shit was going down. So, but a lot of these movies and shit like that and comics, a lot of these things tie into a lot of these stories.
Yes.
You know, through time. So
Yo, 33 is a big number just in a general, bro.
33-degree Freemasonry.
Bro, I'm trying to fucking tell you, like,
Jesus died
that's
at
why it's
33.
bugging me out right now. You like, bro,
Yeah.
He died at 33 too.
That's a fucking number.
Yeah,
that is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's some weirdness.
So, yeah.
I'll give you that.
But it's all connected, though, in a way.
Yeah.
But no, you know, it's crazy because Michael was watching some anime and he was stoked. He like jumped out. He's like, "Oh my god, babe, you were just talking about that, you know, about the Vatican and stuff."
Portals,
and it said it in the cartoon, and he's like, if you listen really good and you open your mental, again, like at the beginning when I had said, you got to open up your mind. You will see that we've been told what they're really hiding, but we're not seeing the truth because we're so oblivious to it. It's right there.
I'm stuck in 1933 right now.
Bro, there was a lot of stuff going on at that time. They said that they found ways to time travel. There was a lot of research they were doing, like with DNA.
Yo, dude, if they were fucking transporting fucking UFO ships in that time, that just says everything. There was a technology that was discovered, and motherfuckers were going crazy about it.
Well, this is around the same time that they were experimenting with things like psychedelics. So psychedelics were a very big key because what it did is they started realizing that these substances made people tap into different parts. But also when these people tapped into different parts, militaries realized you're susceptible to certain suggestions as well. So they were using it. Like there's a lot of stuff behind Hitler and that whole world war and that time period. Yeah, some shifty shit.
Yeah. This is why we do this.
Yeah, we might be living in 3.0 right now. I'm not, but that was
3.3.
No, that was the 2.0 upgrade.
3.3.
We went through a few periods of this.
Yo, wow, that was dope.
I'm just saying.
No bullshit, bro.
So yeah, so what do you guys think about the whole like Vatican and things and UFOs? I mean, to me, I think it's super. There's so much more to it. Them tunnels go deep.
Yeah, they had a few of them here, right?
They go deep. Yeah, if you look at on here, this is the bottom of the Vatican. This is just basically the beginning because it doesn't go all the way deep like it should. We're probably going about 10 meters on here on these pictures that you're going to see. And they only let people access like 25 people a day. They'll let people see, but won't let people like roam through by themselves.
Yeah.
So if you see on there,
that's pretty dope.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then these things go deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah, 53 shelves, miles.
I know the guy said,
I'd be down to walk in those.
If he give you 3 hours to be in the Vatican, where would you go? Down low, really deep.
Where would you go? Yeah, 3 hours.
I'm gonna go as low as I could go.
Yeah.
Go deep.
Yeah, that shit is always fascinating me. Like those little spots in the old freaking ancient ruins and shit.
Look,
I
listen.
like that shit.
Listen, if you ever go to Italy and don't let them fool you that they have all these books and these glass things and they're like real nice. No, those are not the old ancient books. Maybe they are ancients. They're more like the vampire ancients. Don't worry about those. They're nothing. Go to the Vatican. They're something. I'm not saying the vampires say nothing, but sure. The Vatican is more freaking intriguing.
Yeah, I feel like if anybody knows or has evidence of any ancient stuff that would prove aliens to exist, the Vatican would definitely have it.
Yes.
I mean, these guys they've been around for a long time.
Collecting and stealing shit.
Yeah, not only that, but you got to think you have the Knights Templar who were part of the Vatican who then excavated other parts of the world and uncovered allegedly uncovered many secrets of the world and then took that stuff and took it to
the Vatican.
Some of it took to the Vatican, some of it took it to themselves and hid it away. The narrative goes that they became the protectors of those secrets, and eventually they broke away from the Vatican. Yeah. And we're like, and then, they shipped that stuff into different parts of the world. But I mean, there's a whole history there. If anybody knows, wouldn't they know?
They would know where.
No, but they do know. Like some of the countries too, like India.
They ain't telling no.
No,
They ain't telling.
India has knowledge of alien stuff too. So I mean, I know we hit the Vatican because the Vatican is the number one pyramid gazoo, but India has some certain things too.
I think some people have. What's crazy to me is that sometimes people have a problem with religion and aliens. And now this comes back to one of the first things that we talked about in the beginning. Mm-hmm. That if we believe that aliens don't exist, we're limiting God, right?
Right.
But if we believe aliens exist, does it exclude our faith?
No, it does not.
It strengthen it?
No, it just strengthens our faith because it's like, I know we're not the only ones here, and we're not that disippable.
I just feel like people fight it, like as if it eliminates what they believe in.
God wouldn't do that.
All right, so it will eliminate the horse, the chicken, the wolf, you know what I'm saying, the dog. Like it's all God's creation. It's just another emanate,
Yeah. That's how I see it.
If somebody was born with 6 hands and all this kind of stuff, it's still God's creation.
But now, do we think the Vatican is keeping it from us because they feel like people would lose their faith?
Yes. No.
Or because they just want to maintain the secret?
Not lose their faith.
What's the whole purpose of keeping the secret?
Keeping a secret is because they don't know how the world will take it. The world will go in chaos, you know?
So they're trying to save us?
But I think the Bible is actually formed to have some sort of stability in the humankind.
I agree with you, actually. Funny enough, I agree with you because I do believe it's a form of structuring society, right? and making everybody understand that like
Right.
these are the rules we live by, so are we taking care of each other, right?
Again, when you were born,
I get that.
It's we were taught this and this and that, and that's it. Because if we put something in the middle and go somewhere else, I mean, imagine all these people knowing all this stuff. Should go crazy.
But is keeping the secret helping us or is it hurting us?
I mean,
That's a good
people don't-
question.
How many people really want to find out the truth? You know how many
Right.
people I talk
BB
to?
wants to.
I
But
do.
you know how many people I talk to, and they're like,
do.
"Oh, how the fuck is it gonna change my life if there are aliens or not?"
You
And
know
I'm
what's
looking at 'em
crazy?
Like, Yo,
Good
you
question.
just-
Because I want to find out the truth. Is it going to change my life? I honestly believe the truth is hidden. So
Cammy says it's a form of mind control.
true, it is. It is.
Yeah.
The Bible is a mind control.
Yeah, it is. It's I do believe that there's part that too. It's a societal control. They want to control certain segments of society. I get it.
I mean, it's needed in a way, kind of, if you want to say 10 commandments, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal.
I think there's a necessity for structure. I don't disagree with that. I think that religion is humans' way of trying to make that happen. It's not perfect, but that's their way of making it happen.
I think there'll be chaos if people really knew the truth. That's why
You
they
think
don't.
so?
Yeah, that's why they don't want to reveal the truth.
Man,
So you think if aliens just revealed themselves, like say, like right now, if I was an alien,
I mean, they-
surprise, bitch, I'm here.
Like surprise.
No, I think they've been trying
And I
to.
look like this nigga behind me, like, hey, big bug-eyed motherfucker, like, hey.
I think they've been trying to. Isn't that portal that opened up in Miami and they came out and shit, and then they try to cover up that shit? Like, was
That
it?
was nuts.
I mean, they were trying to, but it's
I
like
guess that's my thing, right? We have so many phones, so many devices, and we've had them for a little while now.
Why wasn't that recorded like that?
Like
I've seen
even
it.
now, like if there's things going on, how are we still getting fuzzy video?
man, it's hard for me to just take off my phone or video record today, and
I don't know. We be catching all
She
kinds
was
of
trying to
wild
record
shit.
some alien
We be
ass
catching
today.
all kinds of wild
She was
shit.
trying to record some alien ass today.
And
She
the way-
struggled.
I seen that.
She struggled. She struggled with the
She
alien
was like,
ass.
damn, I was trying to look at some pooties and he got in my way.
Aliens, bro.
Oh shit.
Aliens.
She said, Cammy said, if any one of you three is an alien, it's BB. Absolutely, bro. Apparently, oh wait, I got something for you because BB said earlier we were playing a clip. I'm gonna let y'all figure out what y'all feel about it. And here we go. Yeah, right here, queued up. Look at that.
Did you know that all of humanity has Anunnaki extraterrestrial origins in their blood? And that 2 out of 4 extraterrestrials are indistinguishable from human? Many aliens blend in with humans, living everyday lives on Earth, interbreeding, marrying, and participating in regular activities, yet they could be from another planet. According to the National Library of Medicine and the Census Bureau, those with blood type O are believed to have extraterrestrial origins specifically linked to the Anunnaki Atlantean reptilian lineage. In 2024, Latinos show the highest prevalence of this universal O blood type, followed by the first 3 races of human Anunnaki hybrids: African, Arabic, and Asiatic populations. Western Europeans, Russians, Native Americans, and Nordics, however, have a high prevalence of Rh blood and AB positive types, which are ideal for hybridizations due to the influence of Pleiadian aliens and grey Anunnaki aliens. Interestingly, those with stronger O blood are less likely to be abducted by extraterrestrials, but may attract extraterrestrial partners seeking to procreate, particularly if they also possess AB traits. However, those with O blood who are abducted may be at risk of involvement in slave trading or crossbreeding programs. The O blood type, carrying Anunnaki reptilian and Lyran vibration.
Yo,
she looking for fucking
Listen.
alien beat your nigga
listen,
out here, nigga.
you heard what it said? It said Latinas are the biggest population of people with Anunnaki bloodline, and they're also the least likely to get abducted. Right.
Right. Right. Hey, right.
I'm just saying.
Yo, there's an alien at the
There's
fucking
my
an
God,
door.
alien
scare
at the
me.
door. It's scary.
Yo, who the fuck is at the
Gotta
door?
unlock the door.
Oh my God, it scared the shit out of me. That was not funny. Oh, that shit scared the fuck out of me.
While we online too, it just scared the
Yo, there's a
shit.
fucking alien at
Got
the door.
big country in the building.
Oh man.
Yo, it's fucking crazy, man.
A big country in the motherfucking building.
Yeah. Yo, but that was dope what he just said, though. Honestly, bro. Everything
Hold
is...
on.
But did you listen deeper?
Hold on. Before you do that. Country. It said that Latinas are more closely related in blood type to Anunnaki aliens, and they're also the least likely to get abducted. I think that makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why y'all motherfuckers everywhere. They ain't taking y'all nowhere.
And they usually attract others like them that like to enter that want to breed.
Hey.
Oh, hell no. That's why there's so many Latinos.
Yo, but it did say Russian, Asian. I think it said Mongolian. Yo, it brought shit up that's everything she is.
She's everything that's alien.
I think she made that TikTok video.
No, I did not.
Cammy said, I need that link, please.
Yeah, yo, she made it. Yo, holla at BB, yo. She got that shit for you, Kai.
Oh, man.
Holy shit.
That shit, listen, I'm just saying, we here.
This was fucking,
This was
crazy.
good. This was good. You got anything else for us, baby?
No, that's about it. I'll be doing some more research. I'm really into this. If anybody want to hit me up, and you know what I'm saying, I love to study this stuff. I'm actually going a couple of rabbit holes myself from studying all this. So the more information I get, the better.
Yeah, I'm with it, bro. You had a good time?
Yo, this was, this is why we do this, man. This was like just a piece of what we're gonna undisclose, and we're gonna what we're gonna discover as a unit with everybody here together. And it was super fire, bro, because I learned some shit today. 1933 was a fucking year.
1933 was a year.
That was a fucking year.
Yeah.
Like that. Now I want to go into that maybe for the next episode, see really what was going on in 1933.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about World War II, Hitler,
You're
all that
talking,
time
that
frame,
was
Great
fucking
Depression,
wild, bro.
and its connection to aliens.
And yo, I'm just excited about this, man. This is the second episode, yo. The podcast is going crazy, yo. The Alien Podcast, where
I'll
you
be
get
looking
all
more
the
into
wild shit.
the Sumerian tablets too. I did download a couple of dialect. I tried not to study because I feel like it's like a riddle on the dialect, but it's so intriguing. You want to learn it, so it's like I'm gonna try to see what I could read at the tablets out of myself.
So come here, bro, summoning the mummies, bro.
Oh,
you better watch
that.
it.
Bro, this is amazing, bro. This is fire, though,
I
man.
got cameras inside my house, so I'll make sure that shit go live.
Man, but this is what it is, man. I think this was great. Like I say, man, y'all tune in, man. Make sure y'all hit us up, the like, subscribe, everything, man. We do this on a regular.
We're on demand on blackmarker.tv always. Check us out.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta wake him up, man. They been sleeping on. Get him, Weezy.